Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the HMBLE monthly final grand finals, ZETA versus HMBLE. If you guys are wondering where the APAC monthly final was, it is on my second channel, and then tomorrow I'll be doing NA as well on the main channel, so make sure you stay tuned for this. So we like to break down all the competitive gameplay, giving my thoughts, of course, as a former pro player and world champion. I've got a good understanding of what the pros kind of think, although I don't really know like the complete meta. So as well, I like to learn as well as you guys. So we can see by the bands, the other band on the right hand side is Colette, by the way. Meg on Hot Potato, going to show just how strong she is. Rico also left open as well. Very surprised because Rico is insane, especially with a hypercharge, but he's always been good on Hot Potato. So Edgar is banned noticeably. We have Crow. Crow is really good on Hot Potato. Barley is very good on Hot Potato. Nita good as well, who's banned. But double Colette banned, so pretty interesting. Obviously, I feel like the best three brawlers, surely, obviously, ZETA have second pick. So like Nita, I don't really think Colette is like the best pick on this map. Maybe she's like the best mid to get consistent damage. And we see a Melody. Melody is really good, but the only problem is into Meg. Meg just seems to counter anything sort of aggressive, but they're going to double down with the aggression, especially against this Barley. But now ZETA have last pick. If I was to last pick, I was going to say Shelly, but they need some type of damage. They could go Primo, but that's a little bit defensive. I think they're just going to go something offensive, right? Surely, and just leave Meg to defend. That's kind of my take. Barley can just try and go up as much as possible. I would just go for damage if I was them. So trying to think off the top of my head. Obviously, there's probably some hypercharged brawlers. Primo. Okay, but do go with Primo. How did I read that? I mean, Primo's good offensively as well, but Primo just hard counters Buzz. Decent into Melody. He's actually good into Rico as well, because if you jump on him and you've got the El Fuego, you basically kill a Rico every single time. So, you know, Primo's pretty good. And none of, like, Buzz obviously can't go into Primo. Melody can't just charge into him. I don't think Buzz can be alright into Meg, but in Meg's current form, I don't think Buzz is a hard counter nonetheless. I just think they've gone two brawlers that are really good into Barley. But Barley with the slows, I mean, he's just going to try and avoid those guys as much as possible. And Barley's got a good matchup against Rico at least. So I think ZETA 1,000,000% have comp. One thing to note as well, which people don't talk about too much, especially to pro player, well, there's already a kill on the side of ZETA, and they're just absolutely rinsing them. But as I was saying, I think with how things are in competitive, teams prepare differently. If you guys didn't know, well, ZETA are about to take this first set already. But as I was saying, like ZETA, they just needed, I think, to win one game, which was the quarterfinal, to make it to the world finals. I'm pretty certain. And of course, they did that. But the map pool, for example, ZETA had that map, the grand final map pool, in their quarterfinal match. So they're already warmed up and have a lot of experience with the comps. And as you can see, they just absolutely destroy them. That is just crazy. But yeah, that's already an advantage, and people don't actually see that as a casual in terms of like the map pool, because how you prepare is everything, especially in the meta right now, especially with draft and everything else. Like drafts will literally win your games. Like these players are as good as each other. Good drafts will win you games overall. So I think personally that, you know, HMBLE probably took a little bit of a back step as well, because they already confirmed world finals literally before this monthly final. So I think ZETA are by far the most warmed up. So that's just what I've kind of glanced at already. So ZETA already got a good stronghold on the map. And, well, it's definitely a better start from HMBLE this time. Melody's going to try and get in a safe, but again, I just think Meg is just too beastie, especially now she can cycle through SWAT. Like, look at that. To stop Melody that quickly with a slow, and Meg it's just crazy. I don't even know how now he's managed to get himself onto a safe. Jero's going to try and avoid as much damage as possible. Semantic already with a hypercharge manages to get me out pretty weak. It's just so hard to kill Meg, though. I just don't know why people leave Meg open. Just ban it 24/7. There might be some ways to counter her, but she's Thanos. You can't take her down, and if you do, it takes a million years to take her down a lot of the time. Jero's going to get more chip damage here. Semantic on the Meg. Again, it takes him so long and so many resources to take Meg down. By the time they've took Meg down, you know, there's backup through Naui or Barley or something like that. So a hypercharge super from Boss didn't actually connect onto the high save too much, but it looked pretty flashy. And of course, I just love that skin. This is my one favorite map with Rico and Hot Potato, it takes me back to the good old days. Like when it was blind pick, I could just go Rico against, like, it would just be Ball and all of these other tanks, and I'd have a field day. Anyhow, Barley Hypercharge kind of wasted there, but it doesn't really matter. Now he has his Hypercharge. He places Gadget at the right time. 3,000 damage is quite a lot. Here comes the Hypercharge to swipe. Now he's going to go for the jump onto Semantic, and now that's going to be the set. So that was incredibly straightforward. I don't think there's anything that Humble could have actually done outside of the draft. So in game, yeah, they're just pretty screwed. So that's going to be the first set. Let's hop into the next one. Guys, jumping into the second set then, we have Pinball Dreams Brawl. So also I was just thinking throughout the break that what do you guys want to see in terms of NA? So we've got a really tense situation at NA, unlike EMEA at the moment. So we have Stamina and Luminosity who are fighting for the LCQ spot. So I want to do Tribe versus Stamina, but I might then also in the same video, if Stamina beat Tribe, which of course I don't want to happen because we're on Tribe, hopefully LG then go through, and then we get Stamina versus LG in a semi-final. So that could be a big banger. So I might record Stamina Tribe and then post, of course, if Tribe win just that game, and then, you know, Stamina versus LG. If Stamina win, that would just be an insane game. I would be so intense. So this is probably why you're wondering why the tempo is a little bit different here, because there actually isn't too much to play for inside of EMEA at the moment. Anyways, Pinball Dreams. It's just thrower heaven on this map. We see Chester being picked up again. We saw it in the APAC monthly final, grand finals. I saw Tensai playing out in Brawl, so it goes to show that Chester is a good option, especially on Pinball Dreams, because you have got his wall break super, which, you know, so you're not always guaranteed to get it, but it's good to break open the map. We're seeing this synergy again from the pros. So I saw it already in some third-party tournaments. Barry, Max, and then some other brawler. We've seen it as well. I think ECP played it on penalty kick against, who was it, SK, I think? And I think they won that set. I can't remember. But I definitely saw the Barry Max synergy, and it worked really well. Barry's good in Brawl. I think Barry's not good in like knockout and bounty because he has very limited range and other throws will just beat him. But in any other game mode, typically where throws aren't that good, Barry's going to be good because he's a support brawler. It's basically Poco in thrower form, but way better. So yeah, they go with a Buster. I mean, if now he's so scary on Buster, he's going to be one of the best Buster players in the world. So I wouldn't necessarily say this is the best Buster game in the world, but I'm not good at him. So obviously this is a good Buster game according to him because he just last picked it into a Surge and a Berry. So my thinking is that they don't really have any instant damage against this. You know, Max, Berry are just going to chip down Buster, and then even Surge. Like, if you can pull Surge in after you've already dealt one shot to him, I'm pretty sure you can just free tap him even with the gadget. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, like, he has a decent matchup. So Semantic already gets the first blood there. To be honest, in terms of composition, I would favor Humble. I would favor Humble. I know this was one of the first interaction, but mainly because of Berry, Max, and Surge. That's a very good composition. And especially if you can work the Berry magic, it's going to be very good. So here we go. Berry's already got another super, but Gerald just absolutely, well, he literally did just drop a bomb on him and destroyed him single-handedly. So yeah, that's why Chester's pretty good. Larry also is very, very, you don't really hear about Larry anymore, but he's very strong in this meta. He's still an 8-tier brawler, absolutely. Pros like to use him a lot of the time because, again, he's a thrower that isn't kind of suspect to those aggro brawlers, and ZETA get the first goal right there. So this is just, it's just weird. Like, Chester's mid. Like, Gerald just poops out that super because there's no point holding on to it to try and get value. You're not going to get value out of that super really unless you're literally on top of them the moment you get it. So Lukey going for the kill right there, doesn't manage to get, so now he pops his super, but okay, Boss manages to get a double kill there. I was about to say, surely Boss goes down there. There's no time for Meow to actually get the kill there, and that's going to be 1-1. I was thinking the first interaction, maybe Humble could have found a way to score there. So going into this, I think Boss and Semantic just need to pair up really well with the supers. Again, a good Buster is just keeping Surge back most of the time, not allowing him to get up close and personal, trying to keep the range with Buster there. So Luki's going to go in aggro. That was probably a bit too aggro. Boss needs to get the kill. Does get the kill, but now this is allowing now he's push up. Jero misses his stun super, but Smartic's really struggling to actually land shots onto this Buster, especially considering he hasn't got his third level yet. Oh, he's going to get a third level now. Okay, that's some really good pinching. I'm going to say they needed a little bit of a pinch there to get the Buster out. Smartic now at third level. So this looks good for Humble, especially with Max in overtime. Chester limited range. Smartic's going to get close to his fourth level. This could be disastrous for ZETA. I mean, they do have a super. Now he's using it at a perfect time, though, trying to get some decent positioning for overtime. This is definitely what they need. Luki's going to super backwards, trying to get some double value there. Smartic just manages to stay alive. He needs to run into the berry puddles to give him that super. Luki's going to double heal up Luki and Semantic. That's going to allow him to cycle through to another super. So this is looking good for Humble. Oh, Luki nearly finds the gap there. They need to get the Jero down or someone. They're so incredibly weak at the moment. Now we're doing a good job of buying time. Meow's going to be really weak. I feel like it's going to bite Humble in the back. All members weak, but they just can't seem to actually get a kill in time. Luki's going to go in here. Going to get pulled by Naui instead. Boss can just run over the puddles. It's not really. It's a bit disjointed. Jero's doing a really good job of pushing them back so far. 14 seconds left. I mean, ZETA going to get a kill onto Boss. Here's the chance to try and score. Now he's going to be going in, gets the kill onto Luki, kill onto Surge as well, and gets the goal. How did that even happen? That just, it crumbled from Humble. The rhymes right there, but I don't know how that happened. I really don't. I think one thing that's underrated about Buster was that secret change to Buster's damage. It didn't seem like a lot, but for some reason, I just feel Buster doing a lot more consistent damage at maximum range now. If you didn't see it, I did a video on it like a couple of months ago. No, I think it's like a month ago. It was like a secret balance change to the damage scaling. Buster was affected probably most from this. It just means he deals better damage at longer range. So he can actually chip shot a lot better now, which I don't really see many people abusing. Like Buster's kind of like a B-A tier brawler. He's kind of like forgotten about a lot of the time. But when you're a good Buster player, you can make it work. That's a great super from Jero. And I think he got very lucky. I mean, Chester's a very RNG brawler. Like, if he would have got any other super, they would have not scored that goal. So that's why pros hate Chester in competitive play. I think he's strong, but he's not like warranting a nerf just yet. But I feel like the pros might start complaining once he starts to become very meta. This is looking very sketchy for Humble. Gadget, goal, and that's going to be ZETA going 2 sets up. So I thought it's going to be a much closer series. To be honest, it's just looking like a clean sweep. And yeah, the ZETA boys just unfazed. As always, this is just a walk in the park for them. So that's going to be set number 2. Let's hop into set 3. Alright guys, jumping into set number 3 and potentially the final one here as ZETA already 2 sets up. We have Flare and Phoenix knockout. So this map is absolutely horrendous. It might be okay to play in ranked, but in competitive play, the way the pros play, I mean, it's just the way you have to play it. It's horrible. Those unbreakable walls are just not meant to be on this map. So either in the future, they've got to remove those unbreakable walls or just remove the map from the competitor map pool. It is pretty bad. So Humble take away the Pearl. Pearl is one of those brawlers that ZETA just love going. I think other teams underrate it, especially in Knockout and Bounty. And ZETA go it all the time. Buster is another one of those brawlers. Straight away now he picks up the Buster. Buster's really good on this map because it's a super passive map. You can just sit back, wait for Buster to get his super, and then push in at the final moment. This is how this map goes, by the way. So I might even, I don't even know, like, do I just take a nap in between the rounds and just wait for the final 5 seconds? That's what you may as well do as a viewer. I kind of feel sorry for everybody watching this live. So in terms of next pick, I mean, Larry's another really strong brawler. If I go with the Kit, Kit is good, but I don't know about Flare and Phoenix. No, but I was going to say nobody's picked up Tick, but it is the final ban on the right hand side. There's no better place to put the face cam, by the way. Might put it in the left next time. But Daryl from Humble. Daryl. I mean, Daryl and Kit is an insane synergy. Definitely insane. But Daryl in 2024 in competitive, I don't know about all that. And they go with Cordelia's counter pick. Yeah. I'd go with ZETA. I'd definitely go with ZETA. I think the Humble composition in the Brawl set, I think, was pretty decent. I think Heist was a mismatch, and I think this one could potentially be a mismatch for Humble because they have a Daryl. They have no thrower. I mean, Kit is technically a thrower, and they face off against the counter in Cordelia. So, yeah, I just don't see how Humble really win this. I mean, if they get like a good connection onto Larry and whatever else, but because ZETA are such a good team, obviously, it's going to be pretty hard to get the right matchup when they can. So, that was a really close. I mean, Lukey gets the first kill right there, and Humble actually managed to overwhelm them. Well, I think the problem there lied in just going way too aggressive. I know you got to go aggressive against the Kit, but I think they wasn't as grouped up. I don't even know. I mean, now it's just going to be Semantic waiting to get his super. Or maybe Humble actually have a chance. Again, you can't underestimate the power of Kit and Daryl. That's one thing you definitely can't do. But at the same time, Meow's looking to get his super. Semantic's just going to say no to that. But at the same time, he's still getting his charge from his automatic charge in the circle. So Humble take the first one. So that's actually the hardest one to win for Humble. As you guys should know by now. Kit and Knockout, first round, you should pretty much be losing all the time. Because at the end of the day, you are Kit and you don't. Oh, great takedown from Meow. That was, I don't know, that was an uncharacteristic kind of play from Semantic there. Normally he plays quite calculated. I don't know, I think he just didn't see, he didn't expect a double stack down the left. Maybe that was just good play from Meow, to be fair. But Meow's probably, no, he doesn't even need to take him into the Shadow Realm just yet. Lukey's one shot, going to get pinched from Jero. And that's a 3v1 for ZETA. So this has been a bit uncharacteristic for this map, to be honest. You normally see all the action happen at the end of it, and this time around it's actually at the beginning. So Meow's going to use a jump because he's close to hypercharge, gets his hypercharge, and now this should literally mean a kill onto anybody within that Shadow Realm with a hypercharge super. So as long as he locks in the right person, I think the only person you can't really kill cleanly would be Pearl if Pearl was fully heated up. But that's about it. So yeah, I'm guessing ZETA feel like they have the composition going into the latter stages because they're just sitting there all pretty. They're just... Oh, well, this is Flare and Phoenix, guys. If you're wondering what competitive gameplay looks like on Knockout, here you are. Insane. Well, do I just make a cup of tea or something in between this game? Like, hello? Anybody want to move up? I mean, both teams are just happy to bank on the last 5-10 seconds, which is just utter chaos. To be honest, I think Humble can still win it. Mainly because they got Kit and Daryl, but Cordelia has Hypercharge Super. Semantic with a bad Kit jump, but Hypercharge Super's going to take down Lukey pretty weak. And yeah, that's going to be Boss going down. And that is already ZETA going on to set and match point right there. I think the Kit jump was a good play. I don't know where I'll need to rewatch that afterwards. I think it was just bad, like unlucky timing. I think Semantic's just been unlucky with his Kit timings, especially like on the left. He could have actually got a really easy free kill on the Larry, but Meow just sniffed it out really well. And then that time, I think Meow just had a really well-timed jump. Also, on the topic of Meow, if you guys been seeing his Twitter, I think he's been hacked or something. Like, bro is on the biggest villain arc you'll ever see in Brawl Stars history. So, again, like a good jump from Meow, but because he's weak and too close to Semantic, does get taken down. So, again, this isn't how I anticipated the first round of each set to go. Like, Humble should be losing these first rounds 100%. Like, they have a Kit without super the first 20 seconds or whatever. I think it's 20 seconds. And they also have a Daryl without super for 30 seconds, I believe. So how did we win that? I don't even know. But one thing I'm actually reminded about was taking a look at this. Oh, Semantic nearly gets the kill onto Meow. But thinking about this, I just think of the 10 side tweet. If you missed it, I think it was from a month ago or something. Well, let's just see this last engagement. Yeah, there's nothing that Humble can really do here. And ZETA going to move on to match point. But Tensai, the GOAT, spoke on Twitter about the meta and everything else. He thinks with all the hypercharges and all of these other things going on, tank meta, it is turning very no skill. And it kind of is. There's a lot of like automatic charge and supers in the meta. You think of Cordelia's Buzz, Buster with the super. It's promoting very passive play. And this set literally just highlights sitting back. You know, Daryl with automatic charge and super kit in the meta isn't really healthy because of the play style of kit. And yeah, this is, again, Flare and Phoenix. What can you even say? Both teams are going to be banking on that later engagement, and it's not worthwhile for any of these teams to go in and try and get pressure. I mean, Humble can't really get pressure because there's only Pearl that can really deal chip damage. With ZETA, there isn't really anyone that can do anything other than Jero, like I said. But yeah, okay, ZETA making sure that there's no kit in that left side with the bot there. Smatic's going to go invisible. He's going to look for the jump. Lukey goes to roll in, but well-timed. Super from Meow. Lukey's going to go really weak. It's now a 1v1 Meow with the jump. And Humble actually managed to win that one in the end. That was just so messy. I didn't even know how to comprehend that last few seconds there. At one point, I thought that ZETA were going to win it, and then somehow they just come out on top. Humble, I don't even know. Obviously, that was a good play from Smatic. He's having to jump onto someone. I think the call would be onto Buster because he has the most HP. Again, I'm not entirely sure. It's either going to be Buster or Cordelius because they have the quicker burst damage. So, of course, you want to focus onto them. So now ZETA are pushing forward this time. Surely they can win the first round of the set, right? It's very important. That is a now he just dying there. I was about to say it was a good jump, but it was very risky. That's what I was about to say. But maybe his thinking is that if he gets down the Buster, they should be able to win this 2v2. Because as long as they trade him out. But then again, like it's Larry versus, like it's a thrower versus non-thrower. Meow's going to get Lukey very weak here. Once Lukey respawns out the Shadow Realm, I think he's pretty much dead. They're backed all the way into the corner. I just don't really see how Humble get out of this. Boss nearly catches him off guard. Meow's going to get him weak. Meow gets the kill. Just Lukey left. No super in hand as well. And there's nothing that you can really do. Like, Daryl just sucks so bad. Like, I understand that Daryl's good matchup against Buster and good matchup against Larry. But it's still Daryl at the end of the day. Like, you use your super once and you don't... Say if you don't use your super and then you don't hit any shots afterwards. So, I forgot what happened there. I think you got put in the Shadow Realm or something. And then you have to wait another 30 seconds to get your super. You're just basically impossible. You can't really do anything. I mean, Luca does a really good roll there. Should be able to get the double kill. Here's me just chatting poop on Daryl's name. I mean, this is a moment that Daryl can work, if anything, on knockout. But I'm just saying, like, unless you play it perfectly with Daryl, it's just better brawlers, I think. So, in this situation, I think Meow should win this, mainly because he has the hypercharge available. Pell does a crap ton of damage, though. So, but if Meow times a gadget pretty well, I think he's good to go. So, I think Humble's teammates should be telling Boss that he's on the left-hand side by now. Okay, Boss. Just going to try and get some poke damage. Meow's going to wait to as late as possible, by the way, because Pearl outranges him. So, some really clever play here. Meow going to use a jump and the hypercharge, looking to weave in and out. And that's easily going to be the game, set, and match for Meow. So, ZETA, I mean, after, again, a slow start to the year, they managed to, I think they still finished second in the leaderboards behind Humble, but they're the only team to win 2 monthly finals this year. So, I mean, ZETA, this is exactly when you want to win monthly finals, or towards the end of the year. Like, of course, beginning it's pretty good for momentum, but if you can go into LCQ or Worlds hot, it matters a lot. Saw it last year, and we're probably going to see it again. I mean, Biao is probably off to make another hate tweet because he just absolutely poop stomped Humble right there. So 3-0 this time around, not as close as other monthly finals, but make sure to subscribe for more competitive gameplay going over N8, and that's going to be insane. I'm going to be so stoked to watch that one. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.